All right, coaches, we are starting a series of videos to help you guys with progressions and scaling options for some of our more difficult gymnastics movements. You'll have these videos to refer to whenever these movements come up in class, so hopefully we're streamlining some of our scaling options a little bit, so from class to class, the athletes will experience the same thing. First one we're going to do tonight is going to talk about pistols. First thing you always want to address with pistols is mobility, and typically it's mobility in the ankle. If they don't have it, we need to show them some warm-up exercises to help with that, or give them some homework that they're responsible for doing on their own afterwards to get that really deep flexion in the ankle, be able to achieve that, and hopefully get down all the way on their pistols. So as I take my class through progressions, I take the whole class through every one of these progressions from the most simple to the most difficult, and along the way, if something's challenging for someone, they'll stay at that station, and that's what they're doing for the workout, and then some of the class moves on till we get to some of the more difficult progressions or the movement as prescribed. So our first one for our pistols is just a squat, bringing those feet in closer together. When we do a pistol squat, we want to talk about shoving the knees forward and out. It's not a regular squat where I reach my hips back. We want to load the quad, load the knee, get that ankle into that really deep flexion. So take them through about 4 to 5 squats, shoving those knees forward over your toes and out wide. Each one, they're just going to bring those feet closer together. So hopefully they end up feet touching, shoving those knees forward and wide, getting all the way down to the bottom, standing back up. That's step 1. Step 2 is going to be a reverse lunge. Our folks are going to lunge back. They're going to tuck that back foot under so it's flat and we don't get a push off that back leg. We're going to tuck it under so it's flat. They're going to lean forward and stand up with minimal help from that back foot. What we want to talk about when we start to do a one-legged movement is centering our weight. Right? So if I'm square here, I'm trying to load all my body weight on one leg. So if I stay even, it's not going to happen. I need to rotate my center towards that lead leg so my weight's evenly distributed on the one leg. So as they stand up, they should be leaning forward, shoving that knee out, just like we did with the squats with the feet together. They should be leaning forward, shoving that knee out, and kind of rotating their trunk so they're centered on top of that leg. Step 3, we're going to do the same lunge. We're going to step back. This time, instead of foot being flat, we're going to tuck the knee up so they really get no assistance. Same thing, we're going to rotate towards the lead leg, drive forward, stand up. Hopefully you can demo that a little bit better than I just demoed that. If they can move on past that, we're going to take a giant step forward. I'll turn for you guys. We're going to take a giant step forward, probably about a good 3 feet apart. That lead leg is going to stay locked out. That lead leg is going to stay straight. I'm going to sit back, drive my knee out on that back leg. I'm going to sit down all the way, and I'm going to stand up, hopefully not pushing off that lead leg too much. We want to try and put all the tension on that back leg. Other than that, next step is a pistol, right? As long as they can get all the way down and they can stand all the way back up. We don't want half range of motion pistols. We don't want that. We'd rather you scale back a little bit more and we get that full depth. And then just remind your class with all of these movements, they can really make it as challenging as they want. I can either really push off that back foot, or I could not push off that back foot too much and make it challenging for myself. So as long as it's doable, try and make it as hard as possible.